Good afternoon. As you all know, my name is John Adams. I am the District Attorney of Berks County. This morning at approximately 9 a.m., members of the Pennsylvania State Police arrested Lisa Rochelle Snyder at her home located at 2442 Route 143, Kempton, Albany Township, which is located in Berks County. She has been charged with the following: 2 counts murder of the first degree, 2 counts murder of the third degree, 1 count endangering the welfare of children, 1 count endangering the welfare of a child for Connor Snyder, and 1 of those counts is for Brinley Snyder, 1 count tampering with evidence, 1 count sexual intercourse with an animal, and 1 count cruelty to animals.
I'm Fancy.
And I'm Colleen.
And this is Murder by Design. As we begin 2020, we wanted to take a minute and let you guys know what we've got in store for you this year. We've finished our podcast series on Gypsy, and we've decided to move away from the case, as right now there really isn't much more to report. I'm sure we'll give the occasional update, but for now, that's a closed chapter for us. If you want to hear the whole series, you can listen on any of the major podcast platforms under the Good Wives Guide to True Crime. I'm sure you're wondering if there's ever going to be a TV series, and there is still a good possibility of that. Currently, we're working on a documentary about our journey with the case and batting around some book ideas, so for sure you haven't heard the last from us on Gypsy. But right now, I think we can agree we need a break from that crazy little tale.
As for this channel, we will be covering true crime stories that are currently happening in the news, discussing some cold case missing persons cases that we find very interesting, and diving deep into the minds of some of our favorite serial killers. We will also be covering several moms who kill, including some more Munchausen by proxy cases.
We'll be releasing a new video every Sunday night, and once a month, we're going to do a live discussion so our viewers can ask questions and interact with us. We can't wait for what we've got in store for you, so make sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss out on any of our true crime news. So a few weeks back, I did a live video discussing the beginnings of this case, but I had some technical difficulties with the live, and I decided to delete that video and start fresh with Colleen. A little bit of this will be kind of a recap, but trust me, we've still got some interesting new stuff to share. So Colleen, you've got the basics of this case. Let's hear the basics here.
So 2 Pennsylvania children, a boy and a girl, ages 8 and 4, were found hanging in the basement together with a single dog leash. Their mother, Lisa Rochelle Snyder, claimed the boy was bullied because of his weight and committed suicide, taking his sister with him. However, a couple months later, police discovered that Lisa Snyder was the one who really hung her own kids with the wire cable dog leash. And in addition, she, 36, is accused of having oral sex with her family's dog in photos she sent to another person over Facebook.
So sick.
And yeah, and in addition to her doing this, she created several groups on Facebook and support, trying to play victim that she didn't know, and oh my God, and
she blamed it on the kid. She tried to blame it on the fact that he was suffering from being bullied and depression, and that he didn't want to go by himself, so he took his little sister with him when he committed suicide. Like, how sick are you to even come up with that kind of idea?
It's awful. Like this, he's 8, and yes, bullying occurs at 8, and
Sure.
He might have been a little heavy, but not in a way that he would really kill himself. No one expected him to do that.
No.
And nor would he ever take his 4-year-old sister with him.
Well, there's no substantiation for the bullying either. That's the thing. There's nothing.
That's just the mom saying.
That's just, she's the only one that said it. Like, they talked to his counselor at work or at school because he had delays in motor skills and things like that. So he was working with a counselor. She said he never showed any signs of depression. They talked with other family members, his brother, teachers, other friends, like, and everybody's like, I don't know what you're talking about. He's a pretty happy kid. So
it's just so sick. It's so sad.
And she was suffering from postpartum depression before she had Brinley. She was suffering, and I guess the kids, there had been a point in time where the kids had been taken away, and there was even an alleged that she tried to kill them once before. Like, so I mean, this case is really littered with just crazy stuff.
And it's so gross. And to lie to so many people, her friends and family, and then the innocent people on Facebook, convincing them that she is the victim, trying to play that she's the victim, not that her kids are the victim.
Yeah.
And just spreading lies. And kind of we get the sense that she really did this for her boyfriend.
Yeah, I think that's like a Diane Downs or Susan Smith kind of situation here. I really get that feeling. We'll be covering Diane Downs later in our podcast. I just got in. I'm so excited. I ordered the book Small Sacrifices from the Half Price bookstore, and it just came in. I'm so excited to go pick it up. So
you took my advice to order from them?
Oh yeah. I didn't even think I could. So it's so funny. But so I ordered that, and then I ordered what else did I order? I ordered one other book by Anne Rule. I don't remember which one it is. Oh, Stranger Beside Me. So yeah, it's a good one too. Both of which I've read before, but getting ready to do the podcast, I wanted to go back and reread them again. So
a little refresh.
Yeah, but yeah, I definitely get a Diane Downs kind of feeling from her. And I think like just the text messages that we're going to read later, they are just chilling, knowing that she knew she had killed her kids at this point, and she's out here trying to convince people that she's fine.
Well, and trying to convince people before she killed her kids, like setting up this scenario of, oh yeah, he's bullied, like.
Right. So I've actually got the affidavit of probable cause here, and I'm going to read a couple of things from it. So the first one is that this happened on 9/23/19 at approximately 4:30, which it says 16:30 hours. A 911 call was received at Berks County Communication, Pennsylvania State Police, Hamburg, was notified by Berks County Communication of a report of 2 juvenile victims, a 4-year-old female, victim 1, and an 8-year-old male, victim 2, found hanging and unresponsive in the basement. The defendant was identified to be the mother of the victims. Both victims were airlifted by medevac to Lee Valley High Hospital, Cedar Crest, and the victims were admitted to the pediatric intensive care unit on full life support. Prior to arriving at the hospital, both victims were in full cardiac arrest and were resuscitated on 9/26/19. Both victims were pronounced deceased by Lehigh County Coroner's Office. Now, in the text messages later, she talks about the fact that they kept them alive for 3 days. And I think it's disgusting what she says. So you'll get to hear that. So basically a warrant was issued and the scene was searched for physical evidence. They recovered the vinyl covered wire tie out dog cable with 2 pink plastic bindings at each end labeled super and 250 pounds, which is the wire that the victims were hanging from. Additionally, they seized during the search was a cellular telephone, which was lying on a table. They also searched the phone, revealed the telephone number assigned, and the 911 call came from that number. They took 2 Apple iPads and a laptop, and there was another phone that they were looking for and they couldn't find in this first search. So that's the beginning of that. So she talks about, so the defendant tells one of the officers about what she recalls. So she said, victim 2 was taking the chairs downstairs because they're heavy. So he took the chairs down separately, 1 step at a time. He wanted to build a fort. The defendant said it took him a while, but he got him down there. She described hearing the plump of the chair on the step and the creak of the step as it was a slow go. He came right back up, got a drink, and took the second chair down and returned for another drink. Defendant indicated that she was putting laundry away and always places her boys' laundry on the table for them to put away. She then took the dog outside to have a cigarette. The defendant mentioned that she is usually outside for 3 to 4 minutes, but was throwing the dog's toy and believes she was outside for approximately 10 minutes. After coming inside, she went downstairs to see if the kids wanted frozen pizza or Chef Boyardee for dinner, and then she observed both of them hanging. So she says that she tried to lift her 40-pound daughter, but she couldn't, because when her anxiety spikes, she starts to sweat profusely and she was unable to get the leash off. And then she tried to lift victim 2, who weighs approximately 151 pounds, but was unable to lift him. So then she went upstairs, called 911, and then it says in this statement, it says she never returned to the basement, but she tries to say that she did. So, but police said that when they came, they found her outside smoking. So I don't know. That's just terrible right there. I can't even imagine my kids hanging and just like,
Right. Like, as a mother, you would do everything possible to try to get your kids down. Get on the chair that they supposedly jumped from.
Right.
Like, you're an adult woman. Get your kid down. Try to do life support. They were only there for a few minutes.
Right. And they said, she tries to talk about whether she didn't know whether they did like a 1, 2, 3 jump, or if he did her first and then ran over and did himself, which none of it makes any sense. And the chairs are exactly 3 feet apart, just like the children. So like the chairs just were put down. It wasn't like if they had jumped off the chairs and the chairs fell down, the chairs wouldn't have been exactly the 3 feet apart. Like, I mean, it just reeks of foul play.
Yes.
So, anyway, you get into it further. I mean, there's a lot of the text messages, and we're going to read the text messages, and we're also going to get into some of the things that they found that have been released in this affidavit. I mean, this is just, whoo, boy, it gets dark and bad real quick, guys. Let's take a few minutes before we go on and talk about one of our sponsors. Sponsors are just one of the ways that we get to bring you all the true crime news that we do. So we appreciate you guys giving them a try.
There's a new escape room experience you can have from the comfort of your own home. It's called Dispatch. And what it is, it's an interactive serial mystery that unfolds over several months. We freaking love subscription boxes. I know I get several myself. And this one combines the fun of a new box each month, along with our love of solving crimes. We'll be unboxing some of these here in a few weeks, so stay tuned. To get started with your own true crime adventure, just follow the link in our description and you'll be solving crimes from your couch in no time.
Oh my God, can you believe this woman, though? She creates a support group for herself. Meanwhile, she knows she took her own kids' lives. She's on Facebook Marketplace. She's selling their stuff and trying to garner sympathy at the same time.
It's sick. It's honestly just sick. It's
truly.
Go
ahead.
It reminds me so much of like Casey Anthony.
Yes.
Just I don't know that she was kidnapped.
For a month, I didn't report that she was kidnapped. Oh, it kills me. It kills me.
We'll be covering her later.
We will be covering her later in great detail. She's one of my favorite cases to talk about. Anyway. Yeah, I mean, she starts to create this thing. Like, I guess even while, like, the kids were being, like, in the hospital, she's, like, on Facebook Marketplace. Like, she sold one of their pools from the backyard. And she talks about that in her text messages. You have that, right, Colleen?
I do have them.
Yeah, let's read some of those.
So on September 30th, one of her friends texts her, "Oh my gosh, Lisa, what happened?" And then Lisa does not respond until 10 days later, or maybe even 11 days. And she says, "I'm just seeing this message now. Sorry. It went into my request and never showed up in my main messages. Anyway, I'm not allowed to talk about the case, but I will say Connor's been dealing with a lot of bullying lately. Also spent way too much time online. Also, the investigation is not focused on me. It's focused on the situation that caused this to happen. So many freaking rumors. I'm seriously about to admit myself to the hospital. I can't take the media frenzy and rumors and speculation on top of losing my babies. All I do is cry. I'm so lost." Then her friend just says it's freaking awful, and I didn't even see the article. And she says, yes, it had a latch for attaching the dog collar to it, When I have an anxiety attack and my anxiety shoots through the roof instantly like that, I start profusely sweating. My hands are slippery, and I have tried and tried to get Brinley down. I tried to lift Connor. Like I said, I couldn't lift him to even loosen the lead a tiny bit to get my fingers in there to get the clip open. Trust me, I tried. I love my children. I miss my children. I have never hurt my children and never laid a hand on my children. Although blank tell me all the time that I need to spank Bryn because she was being naughty and not listening. I've never laid a hand on any of my children. And that blank, guys, is the boyfriend.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And
Like, and then we get down and she talks about selling the pool, right? Like,
their friend says, they said you were outside posting their stuff on Facebook. And then Lisa replies, I'm not selling anything of theirs. No, nothing has been posted on Facebook for sale except for the pool that I had out back. I was trying to sell that to get funds together for final expenses, and I did explain that it was for final expenses. But yes, that wasn't bad taste. That wasn't bad taste, and I did take it down after I realized that I should not be doing that. Yeah,
it's in bad taste. Yeah,
It is.
bad taste. Just bad taste.
So our friend says, yeah, they said in the article it was posted before they had even been deceased. And she says, everything of theirs is untouched. Their bedrooms look the same, other than I took Connor's mattress to my mom's house because I was staying at my mom's some nights. Other than that, everything's the same. I have not sold a single thing of theirs, so I don't know who told you that, but that's a lie. She said, it's all just terrible. And then she says, I was told from day one that they were not going to survive, and this was really shitty, is the only reason that they were kept on life support for 3 days. It was for the investigation, so the day before I was told that the plug was definitely being pulled. As much as I hate saying that I posted a pool for sale, yes, like I said, it was in bad taste. I admit that, but I had no idea how I was going to pay for a funeral, and it was one of the biggest item other than my car that I would need to be able to sell, and I needed my car. There's so much more that I want to tell you, but I can't. I would love to tell you everything I told the police, but I can't. I've been extremely cooperative with the police. When they come with a search warrant, I show them exactly where the item is that they want. It's just they need the actual warrant for legal purposes. It's not that I was holding back and not letting them in my house. They would show up and I'd let them in. I showed them where the thing was and they'd be on the way. I mean, very cooperative.
This sounds so, like, it absolutely no emotion in these text messages.
None.
Like, yeah, I'm crying all the time. That's literally the most emotion she shows. Like, I can't even imagine, like, if my kids had died and I had nothing to do with it. There's no way I would even be online being able to have these types of conversations with someone. Like,
well, and try to justify her own behavior.
Justify your own behavior. Like, just. And the thing is this isn't even her original account. This is an alter ego that she creates. And it's basically, she makes this name and it's like Lisa Rochelle spelled backwards. And that's one of the ones that she used to go on all these Facebook groups. And I mean, there's just post after post after post with her in these Facebook groups. And as we get more into this case, we're probably going to share a bunch more of those with you. But I mean, this is just crazy. And like I said, CPS has been involved before, and it's supposedly that she tried to, do something to 2 older boys. I've heard that she tried to drown them in a car. That's very, again, we're talking the Susan Smith and Diane Downs, like that. And I think this was a woman that just didn't want to be a mom anymore. Like, I just
in the text messages between her and her boyfriend.
Oh, those are creepy. I mean, we're gonna get okay. So they're kind of gross. I mean, she's talking about having sex with her dog, and that she's calling this guy that whoever she's talking with is not. I don't even think it was like a boyfriend. I think it was just like an on-running relationship.
Yeah, I don't think they ever met.
I don't think they've met yet. She's calling him daddy, which, I mean, that's fine. That's a role play thing, whatever. But she's basically, showing like how she's taking pictures of her with the dog and the dog doing things to her, which
sending
videos. And then all of a sudden she like basically starts to say that she's having major kid problems after this dog bites her at one point in time. That while she's like sending videos and stuff, and then it's like major kid problems, and then out of the blue, like on the 17th, she's telling this guy, this is the first time we hear her talking about bullying, like and then like just not even a couple hours later though, it's again that she's taking pictures for him, and she's hoping that she'll get to share these with him on the weekend, but she doesn't know because her mother-in-law, or is it mom or mother-in-law, I can't remember which one, no, it's her mom, that she's a bitch, and so don't get his hopes up of whether she's going to actually babysit the kids so he can come or whatnot. So I really feel like this is what's motivating her, is like she's a lonely woman. I mean, she's not a pretty woman. She's, you know, she's heavily overweight. She's not a gorgeous woman, you know. I mean, I think she's like the type of person that she needs attention and she's not getting it, and the kids are not fulfilling this enough for her. And so I think she saw the kids as being a hindrance to being able to have this type of lifestyle that she wants to have at this point.
Casey Anthony.
Yeah. Except Casey was young, you know. She's got a 17-year-old child on top of the two that were killed, you know. And that poor kid, I feel so bad for that kid. Like, he's got to deal with this, and knowing that his mother took his siblings away from him, and he's been through a lot. I think that there was already trouble with him, because she indicates in some of the messages to her friend and on Facebook that he was not living with her at the time. Like, he had chosen to go stay with friends and wouldn't come home.
Yeah.
And so I'm sure there was something there, and I bet he probably feels terrible about that too. Like, if I had been there, would she have done it? You know, this poor kid's got to live with that for the rest of his life. And there is a GoFundMe that's set up to help that child. It is legitimate. We'll post the link in our discussion or in the description. So you guys, if you'd like to donate to helping take care of him, he's with a aunt or an uncle, I think, of the family. And they have been, you know, helping him through all of this. But I think there's a college fund for him and all kinds of different things to help him. So it's just tragic. It's super, super tragic.
Yeah. One of the lines from her alter ego posting onto Facebook that just disturbs me so much. It was also on the 17th. She like reposts like a picture saying, "You become very dangerous when you learn how to control your feelings, like dealing with a psychopath."
Wow. If that's not telling, I don't know what is.
And that's at 1:30 p.m. And then 9 or 8 hours later, she has a Google search: carbon monoxide in a car, how long to die.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and she does a bunch of those searches, like of different ways. She searches if you're in the carbon monoxide car, and then you take them out. I mean, there's all kinds of different stuff. And so people have speculated all about this, like all different things that they've thought of. But, I mean, there's just this case. This is something we're going to be covering as we go forward, as it unfolds. I think it's going to have a lot of twists and turns that people are going to, I believe that people come out of the woodwork to talk about what the experiences is. And I don't think she's going to go quietly. She's still screaming her innocence while in prison or while in jail.
So dumb. You're going to go to trial. All this stuff's going to come out. Like, you did it.
Right. The best thing she could do is take a plea deal, but I don't know if they'll even offer her one. I mean,
probably not. They're going to charge her with first degree murder.
They're going to charge her with first degree murder, and I hope she gets it, because this is just sick. This is, I can think of all the different ways that that people have killed their kids in the past or what they've done. This one is really, this is really thought provoking. Like, she had to sit and think this out, where I think Diane Downs, hers was a thing of honestly opportunity. I mean, she was driving down that road, and I think they were on their way home, and she was like, wait, I'm in the middle of nowhere and no one's here and the gun's in the car. Yeah, let's go for it. I don't think she planned that out fully. And Susan Smith driving into the river or whatever, those were just so quick. I think those were quick things. This, she had to buy a dog lead. She had to plan it out. She had to how she got those kids down into the basement and what she did to make them do it. Like, how do you get the lead around your children's necks like that? What are you doing or saying? Are they passed out? Like, there was so much that we don't know about this case yet, and I'm eager to learn more and more as things unfold.
100%. So, but we would love to hear your thoughts and feelings about this story. So drop us a comment below and we'll be sure to respond.
Yeah, thanks so much for tuning in and dishing true crime with the Good Wives and Murder by Design. Don't forget to join our Patreon member club to get exclusive mini episodes, inside documents, pictures from cases, live YouTube discussions that you don't get here, and our exclusive discussion group on Facebook, and get some amazing Good Wives merch.
Follow us on Twitter at Murder by Design with the number 1, and at Instagram at murder_by_design. And for more inside information, check out our podcast, The Good Wives Guide to True Crime, on any of your favorite podcast players. Have a good one from The Good Wives, serving up true crime one dish at a time.
Bye. Good night.
Night, guys.